Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. Yeah! I get a feeling that I never had before.
You're the girl with the deaf family?
For a second year in a row, the deaf community is getting representation at the Oscars. First was last year with Sound of Metal, and this year we have CODA. If you saw my review of Sound of Metal last year, then you know that I really enjoyed that film and the way that it did portray the deaf community. And now with this year's CODA, it shows that there are still so many stories left to tell. CODA stands for Child of Deaf Adults, and as its title suggests, this is a coming-of-age story following a young woman named Ruby, played by Emilia Jones, who has a passion for singing and is pretty good at it. She wants to go to a college to pursue this talent, but doesn't really have much support from her family, who are all deaf. They rely on her for various things that include communicating with others, and don't quite understand her fascination with singing. How the rift affects each family member is very fascinating, but I can't help but feel that been there, done that type of mentality when watching the movie. I think there are moments that the film could have really branched out and shown us a lot more and just didn't. For example, we have Ruby's older brother, Leo, who has this kind of mild hostility towards his sister because the family relies a lot more on her than they do on him, and he wants to be relied on just as much. And I really wish they had pushed that just a little bit further. I don't think they took it to the steps that it could have gone and kind of held back to not make it so mean-spirited. But I think we really needed that push to really make it a very unique character arc. Instead, the way that it turns out, again, it just feels like we've been there and we've done that. Another example is Ruby's mother, Jackie, played by Marlee Matlin. She goes through this arc of understanding her daughter, but I never really felt that bridge connect between ignorance and enlightenment. She just kind of goes through everything, and by the end, I don't know, she's just a changed person. And I would have really liked to have seen a bit more done with it, like a bit more push or a bit more conflict there. So it's not bad. Again, I just think they needed to take it a step further. Now, the one character that I think we could all agree on is just the best in the film is the father, played here by Troy Kotsur. He is a very funny character, and he does deliver a lot of the heart for the movie. In fact, I've heard that most people cried during his scene towards the end, and while I can't say I went that far, I can at least understand the sentiment of really feeling closest to this person and the emotions that you go through because of that speech. Everything else is just your typical coming-of-age story. You got the crush, the scenes of Ruby practicing singing, the concert, the fights, the third act. Oh no, she's gonna give up her passion for the family! And yeah, as I said, we've seen all this before. Like, apart from the deaf family aspect, there's really nothing here that you can't predict is coming, which is ultimately my biggest problem with the movie. I wanted more. Just pure and simple, I wanted things to just get pushed a little bit more. I would have liked to cried, but I didn't. And I know a lot of people did, but I don't know, I can't change the way I feel just based on what other people went through. So unfortunately, for me, while this is again a very enjoyable film, I really wanted more. And with all that being said, I give CODA a 3.5 out of 5, with the recommendation to rent it. Now, this is a movie I know most people will enjoy, and heck, already have. If you haven't gotten a chance to, I would suggest watching this with your family to get the most out of it. But like with Belfast yesterday, if you're expecting this to completely blow you away, well, it didn't for me. Well, ain't I just a sad sack? Now, don't worry, there's still plenty more movies I gotta talk about, so there's bound to be one that I really enjoy and want to gush about. Until then, I'll be signing off, so please stay safe out there, and have a good one.